Welcome to the Van Life Roadmap, Barefoot Theory's free online course all about van life. Join me as I share everything I've learned over 4 years of living on the road, so you can take off in a van you love and never look back. In this lesson, I'll talk about living in a van during winter and how to winterize it if it's going to sit still in the colder months. In Module 2, we discussed insulation, heaters, and how to winterize your plumbing, but I'll elaborate a little more in here. I'll also share some of the obstacles you might encounter in the winter and solutions that will make life a little bit easier. Traveling in the van during winter has some different challenges than warmer months, so here's a few things to keep in mind. It gets very cold in the winter, and it could snow depending on where you go. If you're into winter sports like skiing and snowboarding, then this is your season. But you need to be prepared to stay warm in the van once the sun goes down, with blankets, insulated window coverings, and probably a heater. Once your windows are covered, cooking hot meals inside the van can also bring the temperature up really quick. Since the sun goes down early in the winter, the early evening can be a good time to take care of some computer work, catch up on some books, play games, watch Netflix, or pick up a new hobby. You'll be staying inside a lot more than you did in the summer, so finding ways to entertain yourself will help stave off cabin fever. Another thing to know is a lot of parks, campgrounds, and roads are closed throughout the winter. Some are closed all season long and others close periodically, so you'll want to check with local offices to make sure you'll be able to get in and out of where you plan on camping. If you do end up going on some snowy adventures, consider investing in chains and possibly MaxTrax recovery boards. These recovery boards come with a hefty price tag, but they have raving reviews from off-roaders saying these boards will bail you out anytime you get stuck in the snow or the sand. Year-round traveling is an awesome experience, but it requires some additional steps to make sure your build stays intact, specifically your plumbing. Just like in a regular house, it's imperative that you prevent frozen pipes in the van. If you'll be using the van daily and your plumbing is inside, then all you really need to do to protect your pipes is make sure the temperature never drops below freezing in the van. This might mean keeping your heater on 24/7 even when you're not in here. If you have water pipes running outside the van, then you'll need to wrap them with some pipe insulation and heat tape at a minimum to prevent freezing. As I mentioned in Module 2, if you know you want to use your van in the snowy months, then you should plan accordingly during your conversion and keep all of your pipes inside. If you won't be using the van much during the winter and it will be parked in sub-freezing temperatures, the best bet is to completely drain the plumbing system, including the tanks, pipes, and water heater. If necessary, you can also add some non-toxic antifreeze to the pipes that's specifically made for RVs and boats, which should keep them in good condition throughout the winter. You'll also want to completely empty out and clean your gray and black water tanks if you have them. Otherwise, waste will harden onto the tank and make for a very gross chore when the spring thaw comes. If you don't dig the idea of being cold, especially if you'll be without a heater, then you can always head south for the winter. A lot of travelers move with the seasons and head south to Arizona, Mexico, Texas, and Florida, and it's a good time to see other parts of the country that are often too hot to enjoy in the summer months.